Greetings. Today, let's look at the controversial subject of how men view women. This has been a subject of great controversy in many quarters, and women are very curious, have been very curious. How do men view women? Well, it's a good question, and let's explore it, investigate it together. Men are programmed by nature to respond sexually to the visual, according to certain reports. The visual is enough to arouse a man, but it takes more than the visual to arouse a woman. This is also what the study has found. If a woman wants to understand male sexuality, the first thing she has to understand is the power of the visual. And women do, by and large, understand the power of the visual, especially where men are concerned. And this is evidenced by the commercial photography, the advertisements, the movies that are coming out nowadays using a woman displaying and highlighting various parts of herself to sexually attract and catch the attention of men. The latest fad which has emerged over the last few years is what I call the torn jeans complex or the torn jeans phenomena, where a woman will wear a pair of jeans which are torn in some parts, revealing parts of her leg. Why would anyone want to wear torn clothes? It doesn't make sense. But look at the way it attracts the attention of men. Vice versa is not really true. Women are not really drawn to look at parts of men the way men are drawn to look at parts of women. Yet, many women will wonder, is this all there is to a man? Is this all that there is to men? So, biologically speaking, men are conditioned, programmed to take note of certain parts of a woman's body, her clothes, even her posture, can catch the attention of men. The opposite is rarely true. You'll never find commercial advertisements highlighting parts of a man's body, his shoulders, his ankles, his hip, his buttocks. These are rarely of any interest, especially sexual interest, to women. But the other way around, men would certainly be very interested to see a woman's ankles, legs, buttocks, or breasts. The research also found that 70% of men interviewed say that they notice a woman's eyes first. 70% of men notice, turned on by, attracted to the eyes of a woman. That's true. Okay. And look at how that is responded to by women. Their sultry looks, their eye makeup industry is a big industry, showing that clear look in the eye to intrigue men. It's all there for you to see. It is very normal for some men to see women as sex objects. What exactly happens over there? Let's take a look. Men are aroused just by glancing at a female's arm, ankle, calf, thigh, buttocks, breasts, even without seeing her face. There's nothing similar for women. All men who see a woman as a sexual object, who have objectified women into their body parts, have also the inherent ability, all men have the inherent ability to integrate all these body parts into one whole holistic woman with her face, her gentleness, her nurturingness, her beauty, her personality. All of these can also be integrated. And men do have the inherent ability to do that. But not all men do it, sadly enough. And therein lies the tragedy. So when we are first, as children, exposed to mother, as a child, as an infant, you're brought to the mother's breast, to her nipple. That is the first external object perhaps that you might ever see. And your first relationship is with that nipple, with that breast. So for you, that mother, for you, the concept of mother is only that nipple. Then gradually, as you develop internally, you begin to realize that that nipple is attached to a breast. And you begin to realize that breast is attached to the torso of a human being. You might, before that, discover that, hey, there's another breast and another nipple. And you might not like that breast and nipple as much as you like the first one. In which case you start beginning to discover the differentiation between good and bad, between good breast and bad breast. And inherent in all of our development is a need to protect ourselves from the bad object. And we do that by splitting the good object away from the bad object. But as we develop more and more, as we grow up more and more, we begin to learn to integrate all the parts together. And the value of integration begins to show itself when we are able to see the whole picture. And that's important, isn't it? To be able to see the whole picture. And isn't this what happens a lot of times with all of us in dialogues, in discussions, in debates? We only like to see our point of view because our point of view is the good point of view. The other point of view or the other person is the bad point of view or the bad person. And so we split. Rarely do we ever develop or allow the inherent ability to integrate come to the forefront, to enable us to see that a good point of view and a bad point of view can coexist together at the same time in the same person. That something good and something bad can exist in each and every one of us. In every person you have a relationship with, both good and bad can exist simultaneously. And so when we label that person in our minds, we are committing a tragedy. We are splitting, not integrating, which is what we need to do. But sometimes we can get stuck early in our lives and fixated on certain objects, in which case integration becomes a more difficult process. So integration is the key to any successful relationship. Learning to see both good and bad in everyone is what really life is all about. Because only then can true dialogue really happen. Thank you. See you again next time. Bye.